Howdy, howdy. Welcome to release question number 35 for the Algebra 2 release questions for the CST. It says if I equals the square root of -1 and a and b are non-zero real numbers, what is 1 over a plus bi? And they say they're non-zero real numbers just so that it's actually complex right here, because if you had a 0 in front of the I, that would just mean you would have a. You would no longer have a complex number. If you had a 0 here for the a, then it doesn't work out as nicely either. You could, if they were both 0, you would have 0 on the bottom. You would divide by a negative, or divide by 0, which isn't allowed. Why that isn't allowed, we're not getting into right now. We're just trying to figure this out the way it is. And so this 1 over a plus bi, we talked in a video prior to this one with these Algebra 2 questions about something called the complex conjugate. That's really what we need to do here. We need to multiply this by the complex conjugate. No radicals are allowed on the bottom with fractions. That's just something that we've, as a mathematical community, agreed to. We need to have similar answers to compare to one another, and so we say that's not allowed when we're fully simplifying something. So the complex conjugate of a plus bi is just a minus bi. It's the same thing you see here with the opposite symbol, the opposite sign. So a minus bi, but I've got to put that on the top and the bottom so that I'm essentially multiplying by 1. That's not going to change what this equals. It's just going to change the way it looks. So it's kind of like you maybe dressing up for Halloween. You're still the same person. You're just in a disguise or a different form. So we've got 1 times a minus bi on the top, and we have a plus bi times a minus bi on the bottom. So this might look kind of crazy right now. I would agree with you that it looks kind of like, oh, what is going on there? I see 3 variables, but really, remember, you only have 2 variables. I equals the square root of -1, and there may be some simplification possible as we move along with this. So right now, think of this as 2 problems. You've got the numerator part. Think of that separately from the denominator part. And so I actually can get rid of the 1. I don't need to think of 1 times that. I just have a minus bi on the top. On the bottom, I can FOIL this out. I've got 2 binomials. So a times a, that's a squared. That's my first part. And I'm going to write FOIL down here just to remind you of what I'm doing down here. So FOIL, I'm doing first, a times a. I'm going to do outside, a times negative bi would be negative abi. I'm just going to write the letters in alphabetical order, keep things straight that way. So I've got here the inside, a times positive bi will be plus abi. And then last, I'll have a positive times a negative, will make a negative. And then I'll have b squared, I squared. From there, what can we do? Well, I've got negative abi and positive abi. They cancel each other out. Much simpler now to deal with. So I have a minus bi on the top, and I've got a squared minus b squared times, but remember, I squared is -1. If you don't know why that is, go back to the previous videos and I talk about that in there. But we can reduce this down or simplify this down to a squared stays the same, but negative b squared times -1 would be positive b squared. And it looks like that matches up with one of our choices right here. Looks like that matches up with choice B. Number 35, the correct answer is choice B.